Hi, my name is Ada, and today I'm going to walk you through a demo of Notejoy, which provides collaborative notes for your entire team. So let's get started and dive right into the product. I'm signed in right now as Adam Johnson, who is our demo account. On the left-hand side, Adam has access to two libraries. His personal library, Adam's library, as well as a team library called Abacus, the company that Adam works at. A personal library is basically like a private space for you. It's where you can keep track of all of the notes that you want to keep to yourself. They could be meeting notes, they could be thoughts that you just want to jot down, they could be works in progress, whatever you want, but it won't be shared with anyone. A team library is a collaborative space. You can invite people in or get invited into a team library, and it's a space where people can collaborate, discuss, and edit content together. Within libraries, notes can be organized within notebooks. You get started with a notebook called My Notebook, but you can create as many as you'd like. I'll get started here by going to the top left and clicking on the drop-down and selecting Add Notebook. I'll get Adam a bit more organized by getting his meeting notes in one place and a couple other areas, and just show you how you can get organized within Notejoy. Let's turn our attention now to our team library, which is called Abacus. Team libraries, again, are places where you can share notes with any group of people, both inside and outside of your organization. We know that you often work with the same team, and so this is really a way to be able to create a shared space with your team to go collaborate. And so if I click into Abacus, which is the company, I can actually see that right now, Adam is the only person who has access to this library. And so I can invite by using this red arrow here, or I can also right-click and hit share. And I can share the library with more people. So I'm going to go ahead and invite someone to this library. When I invite them, I can specify what their permissions are. And so right now, you can set the invitee as an admin, edit only rights, comment rights, or view rights. So I'm going to go ahead and invite them in. When someone is invited into a team library, they'll receive a notification which asks them to join. When they join, they'll get access and see everything that you see within this library. I can create multiple sets of libraries. So right now I have Abacus. If I wanted to create a space with someone external, for example, a client that I'm working with, I can create as many team libraries as I need. So I'll go ahead again to the top left and select Add Team Library. And in this case, I can create a client library. I have the option when I create a library to make it domain shared. So if anyone else who signed up also from my domain at notejoy.com joins Notejoy, they will be able to access this library as well. I'm going to leave that off for now and create a client library. So let's dive into the experience of actually creating a note within Notejoy. I'll move my mouse to the top left and select Add Note, and that creates a blank note within Notejoy. As you can see, it's really fast. We've actually moved the cursor so that you can start directly typing into the note. And then I'll tab over and I can actually start typing content directly into the note body. For those of you that are power users, we even offer a number of shortcuts. You can get to the shortcuts either by hitting the question mark key on your keyboard as you're going through the app, or you can go to the bottom left here and select keyboard shortcuts. I'll go back to our note now and show you some of the editing experience. As you can see, you can add things like headers, to-do lists, bullets, sub-bullets. You could even color the text or do things like paste in code snippets. While that gives you a great view at how you can be productive as an individual, Notejoy really shines because it's designed from the ground up to be collaborative. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is get into the app from this other account. And you can actually see that Ada has joined. I got a view notification that Ada's looking at things, and as I type, and I'm typing this from my mobile device, I can actually edit the note alongside Ada and really be able to collaborate on this note. We're really solving that challenge where you send out a note and then there are just crickets and you're not really sure whether or not anyone's actually looked at it. In this case, you can really get a sense of who's collaborating on the note based off of your work together. And so at the right-hand side here, you can actually see a couple things that are pretty interesting. I see an I with a count of 2, so I'm going to go ahead and click that. And what that does is it opens up our chatter bar. The chatter bar is really powerful because it's really the hub of how you can collaborate with each other. So I can go in here and I can see actually that there have been 2 views to this note. If I click into it, I can see who's viewed the note and when. I can also react to a note. Reactions are a quick, lightweight way to give someone feedback on what you think. Maybe you don't necessarily have anything to type, but you might want to give them a rocket ship or react in some other way. The other thing we allow you to do is to provide commentary on the notes. We allow this in 2 different ways. The first one is actually a note level comment. Sometimes you have high level feedback and you don't necessarily want to get into the weeds of commenting or reacting to any specific bit of text, but you just have some thoughts or you'd like to get someone to give you feedback. And so if I go ahead here, I can just @mention Ada and say, what do you think? And Ada will receive a notification that draws her into the note, either through email or if she's in the app, she'll see it inside of the app. We can have threaded conversations when that takes place. Ada can actually respond in line and we can have a discussion together. I can even go in and highlight specific text and leave comments on that. And what that does is it creates comments that are specific to a piece of text that other people can react to and have a discussion with later on. It's also helpful often to create collections of your existing work. We know that you work across multiple places, and so we've made it really easy for you to embed Google Docs, Office documents, PDFs, or anything you want, even videos, into Notejoy. And so that creates a really simple way for people to go to one place and be able to reference multiple pieces of content, whether they're notes or not. You can do this at any point by going to the bottom menu and clicking on the paperclip for attachments, or going ahead and clicking on images. So I'll go ahead and attach an image here. When you attach an image, it gets uploaded and we actually do the work to make it really easy. If I were to add multiple images here, it creates a gallery that's pretty good looking. As people interact with my content, I start to get notifications based off of who's viewed it, who's reacted to it, content that I should actually see. All of this shows up at the bell at the top left. So if I go ahead and I click it, I can actually see views, comments, and other interesting information of who's interacting with my content. So in order to show you more, let's flip over to a more filled out version of a library so you can really see Notejoy in action. So here I am signed in as Adam again. And Adam in this case has a far more filled out library. As you can see, he has Adam's library on the side, which is again his repository of his personal content. He has the Abacus library, which is his company library, and so he and the rest of his team have separated their work into product, marketing, they have a folder to manage their goals, they're keeping track of their ideas. He even has a team library here for Abacus leadership and the product team. And what we're really showing off here with Abacus leadership is that he's able to invite just a subset of the team that's collaborating on board materials and work with them in a private space just on that. At any point, if he wants to, he can actually take notes from one place and drag them to the other. So for instance, if I were to take this analytics meetings note, I would be able to drag it into the product team folder, and then everyone who has access to the product team folder also now has access to this note. And so it really shows how you can actually create content within your personal space. Sharing it out is as simple as dragging and dropping it. Moving it back and forth is actually just really about moving it between different notebooks. And it really creates a very simple and easy way to share. So let's actually show you some of the content and how you can get and stay up to date in Notejoy. Let's go ahead and click into the Abacus team library. The team library, when you click on it, gives you a very high-level overview to really give you a sense of what's going on within the team library. You can see here On the left-hand side, the recent content, so what people are actually working on today. On the right-hand side, you can see what's popular, so what are people actually looking at on an overall basis. And at the top, you can see a leaderboard of who's actually contributing content that's getting viewed. In this case, you can see that Adam, with 861 note views, is actually one of the most popular content creators for the library, so he's actually contributing a lot to the organization. When you're new to a team, it's often helpful to get to know someone based off of what they're working on. I can even click into an individual. So for instance, let's click into Samantha and really get a sense of what's her popular content, what has she been working on recently. When I click into a notebook, in this case, the product notebook, I can actually get a very similar overview of what's going on within this notebook. I can see what content is popular, and I can also see what content is recent. It's pretty easy to organize and find content within Notejoy, and you can actually organize it for your entire team. In this case, you can actually see at the very top you have a set of pinned notes. For instance, here's the Q1 roadmap. If I wanted to go ahead and pin that note, I just go to the top right, I hit pin, and then the note is pinned to the notebook. What that does is it displays it at the top for everyone who has access to this notebook when they go ahead and view it. But also, when I'm in my overview, it really gives you a sense, and these are some of the content pieces that you might want to check out first. You can sort your notes based off of when they were last created and modified as well. At the top left here, we can sort alphabetical, last modified, and create date. In addition to allowing you to pin notes, we also allow you to archive notes. And archiving is really being able to tell people, hey, this note is no longer relevant, but keep it around for storage. I can archive a note by right-clicking it and clicking archive. So in this case, the analytics meeting on March 1st. When I archive a note, you mark it as no longer relevant, and the note is hidden but can still be found via search. And so if I scroll all the way down to this list of notes, you can actually see 5 archive notes. We often see people within organizations taking old content and saying, do not use, or changing the title to say old. By archiving it, you can really solve for this problem. It's still available for you to find it later, but it's not really in your way as you work through the product. And so if I go ahead and search for a term like roadmap, let's show you search. We've made search really fast and easy to use. When I type in the search term roadmap, it shows me all of the notes that contain my search term across all of the notes that I have access to, whether it's my personal notes or any team libraries that are shared with me. I can just press the down button and you can actually see how quick it is for me to be able to quickly skim through and see which content is relevant. Instead of asking the same questions over and over again, this is a really fast way for teams to be able to access their organizational knowledge. So with that, that's the whirlwind tour of Notejoy. While we didn't cover everything, we hope this gives you a good overview of what the product is about. Please give us a try at notejoy.com.